What's up, Brew Crew? I'm in Marshfield, Massachusetts, home of Stellwagon Brewery. We're gonna go talk to Brian and Mike and see what they got coming in the pipeline, and as usual, try a few beers. What's up, Brew Crew? I'm Ryan. This is Beer Time. We're in Marshfield, Massachusetts at Stellwagon Brewery. With me today is Mike, co-founder, and Brian, co-founder as well, and head brewer. We're going to talk about a couple beers today and what you guys got coming in the pipeline. Who wants to start us off with what do we got going on here? Airwaves, Invisible Airwaves, Indian Pale Ale.
Yep. So what we got here, Ryan, is probably our flagship New England IPA called Invisible Airwave. We called it that just because, a little fun fact, the town of Marshfield was home to the very first voice radio broadcast down in Brant Rock,
Okay.
1906 or so.
Cool, and yeah, you got the little radio tower on there.
Yep.
And I guess, like, going into it, like, you know, the name Stellwagon, where did you guys come up with that?
Yeah, so Stellwagon is a reference to the National Marine Sanctuary out in the mouth of Massachusetts Bay. Stellwagon Bank National Marine Sanctuary is basically this long underwater plateau that stretches from the tip of Cape Cod up to Gloucester. And if you've ever seen the show Wicked Tuna, a lot of their tuna fishing is done out there. It's a great commercial fishing spot, great for whale watching. I think it's Nat Geo or somebody named it one of the top 10 whale watching spots in the world, which is where we got the whale from. So,
is there like a certain connection that you have towards that name?
Before I started a company, I liked to try to go fishing as much as I possibly could, and being local, being coastal, and I wanted to have a name that was relevant, and Stellwagon just seemed to fit the bill.
Awesome. All right, Brian, let's talk about this beautiful New England IPA. As you can tell with the haze.
Hazy. So when Mike and I first started talking about the brewery, about the beers, about the branding, we knew we were going to launch with an IPA. We wanted it to be, something that was going to be your very quintessential New England IPA, and that's what we came up with. It's hopped heavily with Citra and Mosaic hops. So those are kind of like the two big easy button hops. Everybody likes them. Super tropical, super fruity, orange, juicy. And that's what we came up with. And then the name plays into, again, the radio broadcast. And also, it's lifted from Rush song, Spirit of Radio.
Great. Fantastic. Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
It's delicious.
Thanks.
It's definitely your when you think New England IPA, the mosaics really come through in the front. What's nice at the end, it's really smooth, almost no bitter at all. I'm not even really picking up really much of the hop aroma, which I feel is an East Coast style, which is, in my opinion, is what I go for most of the time, is less bitter, more juicy and fruity. So this is fantastic. So how did when Stellwagon started out? How did you two first meet or start collaborating together?
Yeah. So when I decided I wanted to open a brewery, I had been homebrewing for a while, but had never been in the industry in any capacity whatsoever. So I knew right away that I needed help, and so essentially there was a forum called Pro Brewer. Brian had an ad out there. I was looking at it. We just started talking, emailing back and forth that way, and one thing led to another. 3 years later, here we are.
Awesome. Are you guys both from the area?
I'm originally from Connecticut.
Okay.
So only been in Massachusetts about 10 years for my wife's work. And definitely not from this area. Never been. We moved to Worcester. We lived there up until a couple of years ago.
Coming from Connecticut, what was your backstory as far as brewing goes?
My backstory is I was a home brewer, and I lived really close to New England Brewing Company in Woodbridge, Connecticut. So this was back in the day when there were no breweries.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 3 breweries in the entire state of Connecticut and 2 brew pubs. So you had limited options. So I said, oh, great, I live near a brewery. I should go there and I should see if I can help them out, do anything, bring them beer, learn learn something. And I just got to be really good friends with the owner. And he said, hey, we always need help canning. Come down on canning day.
Yeah.
And that turned into, come down on brew day. We need some help on brew day. And then I would just show up there all the time. And it became this, I'll do anything for an education, for a free education. And that's how I started.
That's awesome. That's great. Fantastic. So what do you guys have coming? For those of you watching, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You guys, we're shooting this prior Thanksgiving, so you guys do have some really cool beers coming up in the pipeline that I want to hear about, or that I know the viewers want to hear about.
Yeah, so for Thanksgiving, we will be dropping a Thing of Joy, which is a barrel-aged imperial pastry stout. It's gonna be aged on coconut and almonds, hence the name A Thing of Joy. You can maybe make the connection with a particular candy bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that ended up spending. You can talk more about it, Brian.
Yep.
But 11 months in a barrel.
Yeah, we put that into the barrels at the very beginning of the year. It was tasting great, so we felt it was time to take it out. But that was Buffalo Trace bourbon barrels.
When the first year we opened, we brewed this beer called Breakfast in Vegas, and it came out right around Christmas time. We brewed it with coffee, Vermont maple syrup, and cacao nibs. And we did it 2018. We did a version in 2019, and then this version that's coming out in 2020, we got real local with it. And we've kind of just been evolving. The beer's been evolving a little bit each year. And what we're doing this year is we're partnering up with a local coffee roaster called Slack Tide right here in Hartsfield. They're going to roast up a special blend for us that's specific for the beer. Brian and I actually got to go and like tour their facility. It was pretty cool. It like smelled raw beans and like kind of see the different. It was a pretty good education for me to see the process behind roasting coffee beans. We pretty much hand selected the beans and the roast profile along with Zach and Fletcher from Slack Tide. So that coffee is going to go in the beer.
That's going to be exciting to kind of like when you're hand picking the ingredient that's going in rather than like ordering it and getting it shipped.
Yep.
Like actually going there and being like, getting the aromas and like kind of almost starting to visualize what it's going to taste like, or at least some of the notes that are going to be in it.
It's like we're used to doing it with traditional brewing ingredients, hops and malt and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like coffee was kind of a unique scenario for us. So there's that component of it. Then there's a company in Boston called the Cask Force Project, and what they do is they take Vermont maple syrup, age it in oak barrels, and then obviously sell it. So we're going to take somewhere around 5 gallons of maple syrup, add it right to the beer, and then additionally we're going to throw in some cacao nibs, and the beer together is called Breakfast in Vegas, right?
Okay.
So we teamed up with another Marshfield company called Elle in the Weeds, and she is assembling a pancake social kit, right? So we talked about maybe doing a pancake brunch here, but with COVID, we were just like, we can't plan 3 months ahead. This thing's gonna get canceled on us.
Yeah.
So she had the idea to like, all right, we'll make it a kit. It'll be a gift idea, and what it is a 4-pack of the beer, a bag of the coffee, a bottle of the syrup, pancake mix, and blueberry compote. And am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's
so
great.
It'll all be packaged together, and
that's awesome.
We're donating, or Elle is donating 10% of the proceeds from that to Marshfield Community Christmas. When we were doing the build out here, this was 2018. We opened in July of 2018. We started the build out in March, and I don't know, it still seems relevant and recent to me, but March of 2018 around here, we had like a month and a half straight of just like storms every weekend. And a bunch of trees came down around here, and we partnered up with a local guy who took some of those trees, milled them up, and our drink rails and our bar tops are all live pine or live edge pine.
All these beers will be available to you guys. Is your Breakfast in Vegas
Yep.
Which
Breakfast in
has-
Vegas Imperial Porter will be out December 18th. So
Awesome.
a week or two after the drop of the video.
Yep. Fantastic. Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for being on the show. And we'll catch you guys next time on Beer Time. Cheers. Cheers.